What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Pretty good slate today. 50-something college basketball games. I wanted to rip an early stream, get that early value out. So let's just get right down to that. Got a mix of everything today. DFS, arbitrage, positive EV, all the good stuff. Let me go ahead and sync everything up and we can go. All right. Sports books. All right, let's get right after it. So I see this arbitrage that I actually don't mind taking. I don't know if it's actually there though. So these books have different house rules. Player must start for bet to hit. This is for Sunday. How much can I get down? So this is actually there. Um, I'm gonna check prop builder and see. First of all, how much can I get down on this soccer bet? $45 and 50 cents. I'm already limited on here, so I'm gonna play the max, which is to win 100. So then that tells me I need to go over here and place about 45 there. So that tells me $95 on the under. I'm okay with playing that. You know, it's quick. $3 or $4 to start the stream. We haven't even been live for 5 minutes yet, and we'll make $3 or $4. So I'll take that. So this is for Manchester. What's going on, Jordan? It was all for you, and people came over. What league is this? I need to go back so I can actually see. England Premier League. Okay, and then it's gonna be shots on goal, shots on target. Hopefully that's the same thing. But it says over under, so it's like I have to take an under. So it's got to be one of these. This is for Fulham. Looking for Alex. So he is at minus 200. I'm gonna check shots just to make sure like I don't have the wrong one. No, that's 1.5. Okay, yeah. So this is the right one. I just basically need to place $95 because I'm placing 45 on this side. Yeah, so that would give me about $3 of profit. $3 of profit in like less than 5 minutes of streaming. That's pretty solid. I'll take the end. So back that. All right, let's see what other arbitrage we got. I'll do like 0.5 minimum arbitrage. So here's another one that's like almost 1%. I wouldn't mind taking. I gotta load up 4CX. All right, come on, what's this bet? SAR under 33.5 PRAs. So let's go to for the Wizards game. PRA, we're doing SAR under. So it's at 129. I only have 150 on here. Is that right? Yeah, I have 159. So that's what we're gonna bet. So if I know that, I'm just gonna punch it in here. 159. So that means 120 needs to be on the other side. All right, good and good. So what does that add up to? That's another $2. So we're already at 5 to start the stream. It's pretty good. Yeah. I don't really feel like reloading on Prop Builder, so or 4CX. So I'm probably just gonna move on from that. And these ones are pretty small arbs, so I probably won't play it. Now we can get down to where did that go? Anyways, now we can get down to some DFS. Um, positive EV, and I want low hold. And we're gonna do better. I think I'm gonna hammer a bunch of volume today. Yeah, nothing's cooking up yet, but we can go off here. All right, let's fire up better. See what we got. We can clear this slip. I've had too many slips on better where the two normal plays hit, but then the discount doesn't come through. Those are the worst. Absolutely painful. So we're going to take Kevin Durant over 33.5 PRAs. Let's see what else I like. Josh Giddey under 32.5 PRAs. Thirty-two and a half PRAs. We're taking the under. Okay. And then I actually don't mind this play at all. We're going to fade Joel Embiid under double-double. And people came over knowing this. Under double-double. And max 10. All right, that's the first slip for the better discount. There's only one today, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of a smaller NBA slate, but there's tons of college basketball. So maybe we'll find some of that too. We'll check sharp money here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and share this in chat with you guys now. All right, so we'll start with XChat. I'm posting it there now. Oh, get this info out. All right. Shay Day. All right, I posted it to XChat. I'm getting it over to YouTube and Twitch now. And posting to YouTube and Twitch now. What's going on, Peyton? When you do plus EV live, what plus EV percentage is typically your minimum that you are betting on? Also, do you DVIG to one book or do you do against the market? Yeah, Peyton. So whenever I do live EV betting, I do 5% minimum just because I want whatever bet pops up to be as far off as possible from not one book, but multiple books. So like when you're asking, um, do I typically DVIG for one book or do I do it against the entire market? It's really just against multiple books, multiple sharp books. So like OddsJam actually has a pretty nice tool that they've added. It's the EV formula. So like basically, if the books I had access to and wanted to bet on was like DraftKings and maybe BetMGM, for example, and then like let's just say the leagues I want to bet on today is like, NBA, college basketball, and then like maybe hockey. The cool thing is I could do like a 2% minimum if I wanted for pregame, but the EV formula will factor in the sharp books, and these have to be off. So like DraftKings and BetMGM that I selected, they have to be off from the books I select from this formula builder, and then basically that's how you make your bets even sharper. So like I wanted like 50% Pinnacle because Pinnacle is known to be sharp, and 50% Circa because Circa is known to be sharp. an EV bet will not pop up unless one of these two books is off from DraftKings or BetMGM. So, for example, Bryant team total under 65.5 total. It's at minus 105 on DraftKings. It's a 3.5% EV bet. So the reason what makes it so good is because this is at minus 105. But Pinnacle, a very sharp book, is at minus 128. So that's 20 something cents slash off of each other. So this would be a pretty decent bet. And like this one right here, this is a 17% EV bet. So like this guy Minton to score a goal. MGM has his line way too high. Pinnacle, one of the sharpest books, is saying, hey, it should be at 250. And then you can see nobody's even offering 390 besides MGM. So it would be a good bet. So like this is what I would sometimes use whenever I'm live betting. I don't really use it for pregame just because I'm doing like all the other stuff, but that's just kind of like my process there. Hopefully that helps. And it was all. All right, let's get back to DFS. I want to hit. I want to hit pick six because then I can get that one. And it was all. All right. Anyways, let me go check out DraftKings pick six. Let's run some slips there. Trying to nuke some sharp plays. That's what I'm on. So I see a hockey bet. It's gonna be tough because pick six you have to do the same sport. I think I found some NBA ones that I already like, so we're gonna start with those. If something is an R2, or I don't think pick six is very sharp on the book itself, and if there is a cross market with Pinnacle and it looks good to FanDuel and Prop Builder and everywhere else, that's a pretty good bet. So I'm gonna run Ryan Rollins under 2.5 threes. This is what's so weird. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but like they have Ryan Rollins over 2.5 threes, just the over, and they have been the over and the under. I don't know why they do that, but as long as it's there, I'm happy. The bet looks good. Sing without ya. Let's take Jamal Murray under 25.5 points. Can't even lie though, he's been hooping since Jokic's been out, but value's on his under tonight. So your mic is tripping. Sounds like you're underwater. Oof. Let me try to fix that. Give me 1 second. Good shout, Eric. Good shout. 1 second. Is that one better? Let me check it out myself. All right, I think we're good. Much better. Appreciate you, Eric. Appreciate you. I was playing it back. It sounded good, so hopefully it's going on. All right, let's get one more pick going. Who we like? I really like Ryan Rollins. I really like Jamal Murray. I'm trying to find one more that like I just love. Do we like Shea rebounds under? Do we like Shea rebounds under? Pinnacle doesn't have this line. What about like Bookmaker and BetOnline and Prop Builder? They just don't have the lineup either. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah, let's run it up. Actually, let me do one more scroll. Maybe there's something else that's really good. That one doesn't look bad. All right, I'm overthinking this. Let's just run shape, and then we can move on to the next pick. Under 4.5 rebounds, 6x. This is what happens when we take too long. Jamal Murray just dumped. It was a good line at 25.5, but we took too long. So let's just. All right, let's take Ayo to go over 1.5 threes. 6x payout. We'll slam it for 100. All right, pick is in. I'm gonna send this in the chat. Just give me 1 second. All right, if you're following on X, it's in the chat. Posting it over to YouTube and Twitch now. What the heck is this? That. How did I do it last time? If I go to share. All right, yeah, let's try it this way. Can I paste it through here? All right, yeah, that should work. Good on all chats, so now we can get back to hammering away. Before we do anything, I want to check out sharp money. Oh, actually, maybe we'll hammer this Dabble slip real quick. This looks really good on Dabble, so we're gonna just fire away real quick. Sick without ya. All right, let's just get this one going. Limit's like $10 on this one, so we're just gonna hammer whatever we can. AJ Green under 3 minutes. I'll try to be quick with this. AJ Green under Terrence Mann. This is for the Nets game. Under 3.5 rebound rates. And then the last one's gonna be Ooh, it was just there. All right, let's find one real quick. Gotta be quick. Gotta be quick. All right, yeah, we could take this one. Kobe White to score over 4.5 first quarter points. Bro's about to get traded, by the way, but he's still gonna ball out. This is already at 5, so that's not good. Is Giannis getting traded? Is Giannis getting traded? You can bet that on Kalshi. Kind of hope he does. It would just be cool to see. Uh, need one more. Need one. Let's take my guy David. College basketball prop here. This is for Washington versus Illinois. There's probably tons of games tonight. David over 11.5 points. All right, there's the Dabble 3-leg. You could follow me on Dabble. It's easier to tail because then you don't have to place it manually. I'll keep it up for a second for anyone that wants the username and everything. But I want to look at sharp money. Yeah, under rebounds for Shea got better, so that's good. All right, I think we're gonna do a long shot parlay also, just strictly off the sharp money. I kind of like what I'm seeing overall. Let's run it up on no vig. They usually have the best value overall. All right, so first up is Brooklyn Nets money line. That's it's a tough one, but Jokic is out. Next one is Phoenix Suns. I don't mind that. And then I think we'll do. I might do a 3-leg or a 4-leg. I don't know. Just depends on value, but based on how it's looking right now, we're probably gonna do a 3-leg. Over 6.5 goals in this Ducks game. Ducks. What time do they play? 9 p.m. All right. 9. And there's so many hockey games tonight. That's what you want to see. Over 6.5. All right. We're just gonna do a 3-leg because this is already there. Once the liquidity drops, I don't love it, but yeah. All right, that's the 3-leg. Phoenix money line, Brooklyn money line, and over 6.5 in the Canucks and Ducks game. Was this everything? I kind of wanted to see if there was like some player props or something we could look at. Let me do today's date. Um, just some money lines. Okay, yeah, let's try this one. Cole Anthony, under 17.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Looks like there's 2,400 liquidity. All right, nothing there. These defensive props have been popping up more too. They've been interesting. All right, anyways, let's hammer some more DFS. I want to run another pick six play. Okay, what do we got? Is it another NBA? I kind of wanted to run some college basketball, but I don't know if there's enough value yet. College basketball. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it for college basketball. Let's see if we could do another NBA slip. So first one's up. Um, no, Bam looks all right. Nothing crazy. I like Gary Trent under points. That's a good play. So we'll take Gary Trent, and then we already took Ryan Rollins, so I'm going to remove that. Do we like fading Grayson Allen? No. Let's see. This play on Okoro looks good. I want to double check it real quick. Player. Um. All right. Could I just check movement, please? What's the difference between the low hold and plus EV sections? So low holds if like you have credit on another book. Like some books do rollover where it's like, hey, if you deposit 1,000, we'll give you another 1,000 in bonus bets, but you have to play through that amount 10 times. So then you have credit on there, aka a rollover, and then this can help you lose out. So like if I had like money on pick six, for example, I had to play through it, win or lose. I could basically run the over 1.5 block shots and travel, run the under, and then you can see if I bet 98 here on the over side and 120 on the under, I would lose $0 because the low hold percent is at 0%. But also on another note, this is a good tool that you can use to find plays. It's just a little less strict compared to EV because like with EV, I have it set to where it's the odds GM recommended book weights. So like some of the sharp books have to pop up and be off from some of these books in order to pop up. Like for example, AJ Green. The reason why this bet popped up is because it's at minus 122 because that's what it is when you run a three leg, and FanDuel has it at minus 172. So it's off from FanDuel, and if you scroll down more, it's off from Caesars, it's off from Prop Builder. So this would make sense on why this bet popped up as an EV bet. And we already played these, so like these are two good bets. But low hold, you got to kind of look at it a little bit more. But I still think it's very profitable. Actually, I know it's profitable because some of the slips I run is strictly low hold tool, and the results have been great. So what's going on? Legit. We'll take a Coro over 2.5 rebounds. So these are two good plays I like right off the rip. We just need one more. This might be the last one too. I feel like some of these lines just haven't really like there should be more player props, I feel like, but it's just tough right now because it's early in the day, so injury lineup and everything. But I'm just trying to basically snipe the value because some of these plays are probably going to get bumped and not even there by the time tip off comes. There's probably just no movement on this, so I'm probably just gonna have to do a manual check. Delron Sharp, LaMelo Ball. Do we like Rudy Gobert to score tonight? It's always scary taking his props. I feel like Gobert was going to give you a cool 12 points or like two. No between. What's Tyrese Maxey's line at? That actually looks like good, and I'd be okay with taking that play, but I want to double check. Oh, I already like this play. Yeah, I'm gonna take Tyrese Maxey because he's favored to go under on FanDuel. He's favored to go under on Prop Builder, and also Pinnacle has his line 1 point under, so his under truly is favored. Because if this is at 27.5 on Pinnacle, it would definitely be favored to go under. So I like what I'm seeing there. So that's going to be the last pick. We're going to take Maxey under points, and all right, let me go ahead and share this in chat with you guys. Like if you're tailing, sub if you're tailing, we appreciate the support. What do we got going on? I have a $250 bonus bet on XBet, but XBet's not a promo converter on odds here. What do you think I should do? So the thing with that, Jordan, is let me see what they have. So my bookie is a family site of XBet, so you can just use my bookie and the lines will be the same because it's kind of like well, maybe my bookie's not on there either. So if this pops up to where like you have nothing, then I would basically do it manually, and it may take a little bit of time, but it's like the only way you could do it. So you're on XBet, I'm on XBet. So we can run through this one together real quick. Let me post this DraftKings pick six slip in chat, and then we can find a good promo together. All right. All right, pick six plays getting posted. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, it's in there. I'm posting it to X now. All right, everything's posted in there. Jordan, I can show you right now. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so here's the rundown. So this was kind of like how I would approach it, just to make it like easy. There's so many ways you can convert this promo for profit. Obviously, you want to maximize profit, so it's a little bit different. But like, let's take this one for example. So let's do okay here. Let's do this one. Let's do the Kings game. So they're at plus 416. So you have a $250 bonus bet. So if you were to put the entire 250 on here, that means your win amount, because it's not wagering. You just only get your win amount. Your win amount would be 1,040. So this is what you can do. You can go on Novig or any book that fits you well that you want to pick from. You go to the Sixers and you take it at minus 481. The reason why I use Novig is because like all the prices on money lines for these prediction markets and exchanges, the money lines have way better prices than these traditional sports books because of the way it gets traded. Like here, check this out. If I were to go to NBA and I just simply click money line, every single one of these in terms of best odds is no vig. Obviously, some is FanDuel and some is Bookmaker, but like a majority of these is no vig. So, and I have even added like ProfitX or Kalshi or Polymarket. So I'm sure if I were to add those, the predictions and exchanges would just take over. But I'm gonna stick with no vig for this example because you can get best odds. Anyways, so if you have a $250 bonus bet at plus 416, your win amount's 1,040. That's all you're gonna get if the Kings win. So if I know that, then I could place basically like, we could do 700, and then you could break down the math and split it how you want, make it even, or you can favor one side. It's all up to you, or you can look through the market and find other bets. Whenever the promo conversion tool doesn't have it, this is what you can do. So 845 minus 700, obviously 145 profit. But for this example, we'll break everything down. So if the Sixers win, you'll get 145 bucks. But then if the Kings win, you're gonna get 700 is wager 340 bucks. So what if you're like, well, no, I think the Sixers are gonna win, so I want to favor the Sixers more. Okay, no problem. Let's put 850 on the Sixers, and then at that point, if the Sixers win, your profit would be 176. But let's just say the Kings win, then your profit would be 190. So this is actually like pretty close to profit. So you can convert this. This would be over a 50% conversion for bonus bets because out of $250, you're going to make 176. That's over half. So you could do it that way. You could do it with total score. You could look through the market. So like I'll do one more with you, just like a more even odds one, and then we can kind of look at it. So Milwaukee Bucks. Let's do total score to make it easy. So if you wanted to take the over 222 and a half, $250 bonus bet. Let's say I'll take the under on Novik. I'm gonna win 227 if the over hits. So that means I cannot go over 227 bucks on the under. So let's just do like 150. So if I were to place 150, that would be $138 profit if the under hits. Say the over hits now on XBet, that means you would get 77 bucks. So you're like, no, that's like weighted too heavily. I want it to be even. Okay, no problem. Let's do 120. So then that would basically be 110 bucks of profit, and then 227 minus 120. Now that's very even. So this is how you could do it. Obviously, like this isn't as good because if you take the score, you're gonna get $110 profit out of a $250 bonus bet. That's not even 50%. So if it was me, I would probably take that Kings and Philadelphia one because the money lines with the big underdogs and the big favorites, those are where you'll catch the best value, especially on exchanges. So hopefully that helps. If not, you can just text me after this. We could figure something out. How often do you experience a negative variance for the entire day on Plus EV Live? At first, I was placing enough bets to not experience any for the first week, but after being very limited, harshly limited on 2/3 of my books I was using, I started experiencing a lot of it recently. So yeah, Peyton, what you're going through is like pretty normal. How would you like? So like, it's kind of weird because I basically do a mix of arbitrage and positive EV, and I don't like my losing days on here. The 3 days I've had, that's whenever I've gone deep into positive EV with no arbitrage, no promos, no nothing. So that's just kind of my negative variance there. But most of what I do is like when I do place positive EV bets, I make sure it's like in sync with my arbitrage bets, so that way I'm not like relying on one thing. Like I'm not relying on positive EV to make up my day, and I'm not relying on arbitrage to make up my day. I'm relying on both. But it's pretty normal to go through a negative variance stretch. Like I think I've had months where like I'll have 5, 6 losing days in a row, and each losing day was like a couple $100. But then after the 7th day, the 8th day, I made like 2,000. So it's like trusting the variance there. It really just depends on what books you have, also, because obviously it's easy to make money whenever you're on simple books. Like if I had a DraftKings and BetMGM and Fanatics that was never limited, I would make so much off of them. And obviously, it's not how it goes. They're going to limit you. As good of a book as they are, the longevity of it's pretty slim. So you're kind of hitting the status that we are all at, which is using books that are sharp, that don't limit, and finding a way to win. Because like FanDuel, they limit, but it's very manageable. But I think they're a pretty sharp book. Bet Online, they're pretty sharp. Bookmaker, they're pretty sharp. Currently on sweepstakes and DFS because I'm only 18. Ah, okay, I gotcha. I appreciate you walking me through that. Yeah, no problem, Jordan. So like, talk to me here, Peyton. What books do you have, and then we can kind of like break it down from there. I've had variance all month. It definitely happens. One day I made almost 10 units, and the next couple of days I lost like 13. Yeah, variance sucks, but there's like literally no way around it. You're never gonna meet someone that wins from EV betting like every single day and never loses. All right, so this EV one, I think we're done with. Promo conversion, we're probably good. I think we're good on DFS, just not any value yet. I'm sure more player prop lines will get released, but that's what I like. I did only mainline EV betting and won over 8 units yesterday, so that was a plus. Oh, okay, there we go, Jordan. That's big. Did you did you because you told me you were gonna do EV betting with mainlines. Did you do it off sharp money, or like how did you find this place? Is this play there? DeMar DeRozan another 26.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Bet 105 has been like so sad recently. Yeah, like player props aren't even on here. And sometimes when they are on there, it's gonna give you like a market suspended. So it's just been kind of sad. They've slowly like been declining as one of my books to use for arbitrage and everything. All my current books, Onyx, which moves lines very fast live. Onyx is so tough live. Like they just I fully understand what you mean. I've tried live arbitrage betting and live EV betting with them. It's tough. Rebet, $5 limits. Sports, $2 limits. If you have a flip is pretty easy. Really. You just have to. I would just keep. If you're on flip, I would just basically bet using the arbitrage tool. And if flip gets off from like FanDuel or Bookmaker or Pinnacle, then I would hammer that as an easy bet. Um, Yes, so like I see you're not mentioning anything on Fliff. Fliff would be a very easy book to take advantage of. I've been limited on there pretty fast. Actually made a good amount of money on there. Um, Rebet, there's really not much you can do besides like main lines. Um, but even then, I don't know how much value that goes. Sportsino, I would just hammer still. Sportsino's a very easy book, so I would do what I can on that. Because if you can get like $5 or even $2 a bet, and you place like 30 in a night, you're gonna have a high win percentage because 14 is a soft book. So then you can make like a 30, $50 off of that. Flip could generate you thousands. Price picks, yeah, I'm limited on there too. Oh, Kalshi, you could make good. Flip and Kalshi, you could just those could be your only two books, and you can make good money. Yesterday, been using Flip daily. That's what I've gotten a lot of negative variance on. So it depends with Flip. Like pregame Flip is like all right. Like you might lose a little bit, but like live betting, arbitrage, like so like whenever I was using Flip before I was limited, this is what my lineup was. Peyton. I was using Flip and I was basically just doing this. I had Fliff, and I was comparing it with Pinnacle. I was comparing it with Bookmaker, and I was comparing it with FanDuel. And like this would be it. And then if Fliff popped up being off to Pinnacle or the books I selected, then I would hammer it as an EV bet. It's just tough because you need to get through like 500 bets before you can really see the true value of the edge. So if you're only like a couple hundred bets deep and you're just seeing losing, I would just keep going because that's just part of the game. There's no other way around it. It's been pretty normal for all of us. So Kalshi is good too. I've been hammering. So like I posted it today, but I made like $400 off of Kalshi yesterday, and I had a 23% ROI, and it's been pretty nice because when you bet them live, you're gonna catch arbitrage bets between Fliff and Kalshi. That's like pretty certain. But like, so these look bad. Like 78% chance I hammered this as an EV bet. It looks bad, but like it's not bad because this is an EV bet. I got 78% on this bet, but the market was at like 85, 90%. So that's an EV bet. And then I got this one at 65%, but the market was probably at 75 or 80%. So that's another good EV bet. Like Kalshi is amazing. I'm going to start using a ton more. You'll never get limited because they're a prediction market. So you'll be good on that. Jordan says plus EV, sharp money only, comparing prices to Pinnacle, Bookmaker, looking online. Jordan, that is the exact way to do it. You will be profitable doing that through the course of thousands of bets. So that is you're on the right pace. Onyx is impossible. That's probably like the biggest truth of the day. I'm leaving that up there for a second. What's up, Tumbo? How's the board been? I've been busy. Yo, what's going on, Hippie? The board's been all right. It's early in the day, so there's not tons of volume, but I wanted to hammer everything before they moved, and I think we did a good job at that. So, damn, that's smart to have Pinnacle, Sharp Book Selected. Never seen that. Yeah, yeah. So, like, whenever I arbitrage bet, even though I don't have access to Pinnacle, I use Pinnacle because it's like, hey, this is a source of truth. Like, this is a book that you want to kind of base it off of. Yeah, but if anyone has any more questions, just shoot me a message. I mean, we could talk strategies all day because I love like you guys are picking my brain, but I'm also going to pick yours. We're going to build off each other, bounce ideas, basically grow together as a community. But I think I'll go ahead and call it there. Once again, if you guys have any questions, just shoot me a message. I should be streaming tomorrow, but I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Catch you guys next time.